Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply, and this video is to bring you a closer at the Reese number TS1AV, a threshold component assembly is what they call it. Also known as a stop strip is what we would call this. Basically a stop, nothing other than an extruded piece of aluminum with, it has a particular profile in it. And this is the TS1A, I should say, from Reese. So, block of aluminum, check. It's got a feature to it when they extrude it to take and insert. That's the V part number for vinyl. A stands for mill aluminum finish. You can also do this in the D finish as well. TS1DV, that would be a dark bronze. And Reese has a very, very nice dark bronze finish. Has these ridges or serrations on the bottom, really helpful because it helps keep it in place. A threshold takes a lot of use in this sort of plane, but also laterally, especially a stop strip. Now, being a stop strip, what that refers to is that it is a piece of equipment that's going to operate as a stop. It's a strip of aluminum that will operate as a stop. This piece of equipment is in particular intended to be used on top of an existing threshold. If you have a threshold that you wish to add the ability to have a bump up feature, you're going to use a stop. That is so much the expected, anticipated application that there are no holes in this at all. And when you order this, it's going to come with machines that they're expecting you to drill and tap into the surface of what you're applying. So, if you're using it in its intended purpose, a threshold to make a bump up style, you'll drill holes through this, you sink them, you'll drill holes and tap holes into what you're attaching it to. If you are applying this to anything else, like to a wood frame, I've seen lots of weather stripping to material to clients who have an exterior application where they will open up windows, a restaurant on Main Street. Windows open up in the summer, beautiful scenario, patio outside. Well, in the winter they're going to close, and they're going to use these stop strips to not only stop the window, swinging in too far, hyper swinging, but also to provide seal as well. In that case, I think you're going to need to not only drill and countersink your holes, but to bring wood fasteners. Now, having said that, we can certainly specify to the manufacturer that we would like the material to be drilled and countersunk and to provide, pipe fastener. So indicate that in the comment field. And that's how we would go about doing that. Now, there is a link below this video to a document called Product Brochure, and that will show you the threshold assembly components. They have more than one stop strip. They have one that is 3/8 of an inch tall. The TS1 is just a 1/4 inch tall. Okay, so they have one that's a bit taller. The overall width of the piece is going to be, is going to be 11/16 of aluminum. It's a little shy on that. And when we get all the way to the outside of the bumper, it's pushing 16ths. Okay, so that page is handy because it will show you a bunch of other shapes, and those shapes are used with the other items on that page in the product catalog and can be used to great effect to build a custom threshold. See how you might use those pieces to assemble them together in such a way that will solve the problem they solve. I've used components like this from Reese and have had them weld them. I think we did a like an 18-inch wide threshold. I don't know if they were the jam depth was pushing 13-inch, and these were wider than the jams. They were greater than 13-inch, maybe 14 or 16-inch, and we basically used these plates with the ball flute top. We used a couple of those with supports underneath, and it worked perfectly, in fact. So that entire page is hand. Now this is going to be listed in the site in lots of different lengths. everything from 2 foot. Currently, if you get past about 7 foot, it'll get costly to ship, so be mindful of that. If you have need for a custom length, by all means, let us know. Order the next longest piece or pieces, and in the comment field the net length that you'd like for us to cut the material back to, and that's where they're going to cut it at. Advantage of that is you're going to get a really nice factory finished edge on that rather than trying to cut it with a hacksaw, or you'll get the material and then realize, oh, I have no way to cut this. You might also want to order it long. If it was me, I'd want to be mitering these corners. So I wouldn't want the factory to cut them. I'd order them long and put that on my miter box saw and get nice tight corners on whatever I was doing if necessary. Now, the V in the part number stands for, as you see in that product catalog, you're going to be able to do U for polyurethane, PR for upgrade, V for vinyl, S for silicone. Without going into the different too dramatically, cost being the most important, go with vinyl. You want something around, golly, go with polyprene. You want something excellent for extreme applications, and especially heat, and will remain flexible, go with silicone. If you just all around for abrasion resistance and the resistance to the growth of mildew and fungus, polyurethane can't be beat in that regard whatsoever. Okay. Finally, there is a link below this video to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up not only all the Reese products that we sell, but also a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the full catalog. Any questions on the Reese? This is their part number TS1AV top strip in a mill finish, or any other Reese product, please feel free to us. And thank you.